What's up, guys? This is going to be the first video of my wrestling or wrestler profile videos. I wanted to start off with someone that tragically passed away this last year. Of course, I'm talking about the Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man, of course, started in the 1980s in WWE, was introduced as a sort of a powerful, outgoing individual. At the beginning, a lot of people don't know that he didn't have Elizabeth by his side. He was actually had several different managers trying to get the talent of the Macho Man under their staple, and it was up to the Macho Man to choose who was going to be his manager. And he eventually brought in Elizabeth as his valet, or the first lady of wrestling. With Elizabeth by his side, of course, he had epic matches against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4. Of course, we saw, him winning the championship at WrestleMania, where he went up against Ted DiBiase, and of course Hulk Hogan kind of interfered, sort of with the chair, but Macho Man still went out there and beat, I believe it was One Man Gang and Ted DiBiase. Not sure who the third person was, but you could definitely see his character, his star power growing. Of course, after that, he was formed in a group with Hulk Hogan, becoming, of course, the Mega Powers, and the Mega Powers took off. Their heads never to even this day had a tag team, I think, in my own opinion, that were as strong as the Mega Powers were. You had Macho Man, that was a fan favorite, Hulk Hogan, that was the key guy of the industry, and they were just together in this group. Of course, the Mega Powers ended up exploding. Basically, what happened was Macho Man didn't like that Hulk Hogan was getting all the spotlight attention. So in a match between Hakeem and the Big Boss Man, the Twin Towers, Elizabeth was injured. Hulk Hogan ended up taking Elizabeth to the back. Macho Man was jealous because basically he didn't want anyone to be around Elizabeth, and that would lead to WrestleMania 5, where we had Macho Man against Hulk Hogan and the Mega Powers explode. It was a great match. Both individuals, went out there and give it all. Of course, Macho Man was a perfectionist in the ring, so he was the one that was guiding Hogan through the match. Hogan, of course, won because Hogan won pretty much every WrestleMania he was in, but you could definitely see the star power of Macho Man shining in that. Of course, after that, Macho Man became the King Macho Man, or Macho King, with Sensational Sherry by his side. He would still be as powerful, but I think that his persona outside of the King Macho Man Savage persona was better. He went on to have feuds with Ultimate Warrior. It all started, Ultimate Warrior had become champion because Hulk Hogan had lost to Sergeant Slaughter. Then Hulk Hogan had lost to the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior had lost to Sergeant Slaughter. And the reason why the Ultimate Warrior lost to Sergeant Slaughter was because Macho Man hit him with the scepter. So it led to a match between the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man. Of course, they went at it at WrestleMania 7 in a retirement match. And, Macho Man ended up stepping down, ended up losing the match. We then saw Macho Man become sort of like a commentator. It wasn't good for his career at all. And I know that Macho Man really liked to wrestle, and he wasn't getting the most out of his own personality then. They just needed someone with charisma to actually be on the announce team, and I think that's why they brought Macho Man in. Of course, he also had an epic battle against Ric Flair, where he was brought back at WrestleMania 8, and that was over Elizabeth as well. Then, of course, Macho Man, like many other stars, went to WCW, became a huge name there, made lots of money there, was in the NWO, was in the NWO Wolfpack. Of course, he ended his career there. He had a short stint in TNA, never fully came back to WWF or WWE because of problems that were happening behind the scenes that no one really knows what happened, but it's one of those things where Vince McMahon always held a grudge against Macho Man. Then, of course, he also starred in some movies. He was in Spider-Man, and of course, tragically, he's passed away. He's also the brother of the Genius. So Genius is kind of marketing himself around the persona of the Macho Man nowadays. So that's been my first wrestler profile, Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm going to be doing different wrestlers from the 1980s and early 90s, and maybe even some from the 1970s. Check them out. Let me know what you guys think. Just give you guys a little bit of a brief history on some of the wrestlers, because I know a lot of you have heard of the wrestlers, but you don't necessarily know a lot of what happened in their career. So comment below. Please sub. Follow me on Twitter. I'll put it up, my Twitter account. I think it's Leader Old School. But I'll have the Twitter thing down below. So follow me on Twitter. And please sub. Peace.